What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Aces High podcast. We're your hosts, Miriah and Ty. Ty, happy Monday. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing good. Happy Monday to you. How you doing?
I'm good. Hanging in, you know.
Good
Happy
stuff.
Memorial Day to everybody.
That's right.
Um, I know, a lot of people are out barbecuing, out drinking, out doing what you do. So hope you all are having fun, having a safe Memorial weekends.
Yep.
And yeah, chat, what's up? Hope everybody is wonderful. Rob D, first in the house. Appreciate
What a
you. We
Rob.
got Throwback. Dawn. Let me see. Maria.
What's up?
What up, Joel? Sin, what's good? What up to all those watching, not in the chat, those that watch back on replay? We appreciate you all. Episode 2 of the Aces High podcast, week 2 of WNBA officially in the books. You know, the WNBA schedule is so crazy this season because of the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Like some teams have seemed, I swear for a while there, it felt like the Aces were never playing. And every time I turned on the TV, like there's other teams are always on. And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? So real quick, just to sum up what kind of, took place, where the records are standing after 2 full weeks of basketball now. Aces, they split this week since last time we saw you, lost 1-1. We will get into that shortly, but right now Connecticut on top, 5-0. Got the Lynx 4-1, second place. Vegas in third, so dropped from first to third since the last time we went live. We got New York in fourth, Dallas in fifth, Phoenix in sixth, Seattle seventh, Chicago eighth, and so on and so forth from there. But those games up at the top, those teams up at the top, it's really close. Like I said, Connecticut's 5-0. You got the Lynx 4-1. And then from there, I mean, the Vegas is 3-1. You got New York in fourth place, but really they're 4-2.
Yeah.
So they've already played 6 games and Vegas has only played 4. So that shit's kind of crazy right now. So yeah, there's some bunch of stuff to talk about that happened this week, not all with the Aces. I do want to start off with something that's kind of been going viral since it happened, and nothing to do with the Aces. For once, stuff that's viral out there, we're not involved. But this has to do with
You mean
Angel
it's not
Reese.
all about the Aces? What?
Nope. Angel Reese and Alyssa Thomas. When Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Sun faced off this week. Angel Reese, Alyssa Thomas, let's play the clip before we get into anything. We'll let you guys see how you feel about it as we talk about it.
Hold on. I'm going to it right now.
Let's let Ty pull this up because kind of crazy what happened. Alyssa Thomas did end up getting ejected for this.
So here we go.
All right, let's take a look.
Grabs her by the neck and slams her down. She lands right on her head, which is just wild. Ugh.
And then just walks away like nothing. Like
yeah. It's nuts. Nuts.
And the thing is that this isn't a first for AT. She's known to do these things. I've seen a lot since this happened, of course, over social media that, that she's a dirty player, that, the entire team is dirty. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, since that play happened. Of course, after the game, Reese was asked about it, and she says, she doesn't expect, AT to treat her any different because she's a rookie or because of this. And it's just like, we're not asking for special treatment because you're a rookie or even if you weren't a rookie and it happened to anybody else. The point is that, she could have been seriously injured in that play.
Yeah.
Like her head
Yeah.
bounces on the floor,
Yeah.
and like you're just have no regard for anybody at that point when you're AT to grab somebody by the neck and throw them, down on the ground. And then, it's coming out now since, coverage has been circulating of it on the play prior to that Reese gets thrown onto the floor during
Yeah.
that play as well. So back to back plays, something happens to her.
There's a sequence, and I happen to have that sequence.
Let's take
and
a
I
look.
want you to check it out. Like, and just let everyone know who didn't see the game, it was actually a very clean game. There was no shenanigans going on. They weren't being extra rough with each other. It was a very just clean, physical game, like all WNBA games are, but nothing over the top. Nothing that would get Alysha Thomas in a rage that she would do something. But there is just one play that I think started the whole sequence. And let me pull it up here. To open this up, add it to the stage. I think you got to add to the stage.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading.
See it there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there it is on Thomas. Carter gets a steal. Now just focus on the top of the screen. If you see AT and Angel Reese, they kind of get tangled up and go down to the ground. And you see Angel Reese, she has her hands up like, hey, I didn't do nothing. It's just an accident. But from there, you get this possession. There's a bucket. And they come down. You see right there, AT gives her a little bump right there with her shoulder. It's like, what's that about?
Right, like in her back.
Exactly. So they come down. Now they're toward the bottom of the screen. Watch this possession. Shots up, rebound. Right there it is. Angel Reese goes up. And you see that little hip check?
Wow.
She gives her a little hip check right there. So it's like, what is going on? And at this point, Angel Reese is still down. Like she's just getting up.
Dang.
So she's battered from those two right there. And then comes the drive and the choke slam. Just,
wow. Yeah, that's my first time seeing that entire sequence of events all together. And that makes it look even worse.
Yeah, so it was 3 consecutive plays where she basically got tackled, then hip checked and choke slammed. And it was like, my goodness.
Wow. And, what makes this even crazier is that prior to the game, Reese is asked, about the other team and whatnot. And she goes on to say how much she looks up to AT and all these nice things about her, and then goes, and this all happens during the game. And it's just like,
yeah, and you can watch the game, and she was like super respectful to them. Like at one point, before all that, her and AT got tangled up. And there was a jump ball called, and like AT fell to the ground, and like Angel Reese actually ran over to help her up, which you never see. Like most opponents don't help each other up. Like she ran over to help her up, and Alysha Thomas didn't see it, and she got up on her own. But the fact that Angel Reese did that shows a level of respect. And there was one play where Angel Reese was guarding DeWanna Bonner, and she fouled her, just gave a little like hit on the hip, and they called a foul. And after the foul, Angel Reese like reached her hand out to her like, hey, my bad, nothing malicious to it. And DeWanna Bonner, slapped her hand. They dapped it up like, hey, it's all good. Like there was this high level of respect. And for that to happen, it's just wild. But it's like you began with, Alysha Thomas can be that Broad Street bully sometimes and just loses it and does things like that. and it's terrible to see.
Yeah. I'm not like you said, and I said, she's known for this. So I'm not surprised, but I am surprised of that whole sequence of things. Like it's just
Yeah.
like what are you freaking doing? Like
Yeah.
and like I said from the beginning, she could have been seriously injured as you're
Yeah.
throwing her down. Like that wasn't even necessary. None of
No.
that,
No.
and to where you could have cost her potentially her
Yeah.
freaking career, her,
Yeah.
the season, not like,
Well,
man.
she landed and hit her head. Like we know about head injuries and CTE and all that stuff from
Yeah.
players hitting their head. Like it could have been real bad. Luckily she got back up and she was able to finish playing. She never even left the game, but no, she did. She got checked out.
Yeah.
Teresa Weatherspoon, she shot a foul shot and Teresa Weatherspoon took her out for a bit. So she did, but she came back in and finished the rest of the game. So,
and she went on to tweet, afterwards that she's good. Obviously she has a big following. She has a lot of fans and
millions.
People are in an uproar, right? Like, and not even just Reese fans, like even us as Aces fans
in general,
like WNBA fans in general, unless you're a fan of that specific team or of AT, you were pretty much in an uproar over this, and deservingly so. Let's move on to another surprising thing that happens. And, we're going to go back to the Aces games, but this happened, after the second Aces game. And I was kind of surprised by this. The Aces announced that they were waiving Dyaisha Fair. And, very surprised, not for the fact that, she was balling out. Like in the Aces last game that they just won, they had a very sizable lead, up by 20 plus points at one time. And I had even put a tweet out like, Fair finally just checked into the game for her first minutes, and then soon it was, Aces are up by over 20, the entire bench is in. Now, when she was in the game, she didn't make any plays, right? She didn't do anything to where it's like, oh, wow, nothing.
Right.
But the reason why I'm surprised is because this is somebody that they made it seem like Becky really wanted on this team. Like she was so stoked during the draft, like pumped that like Fair was still around when we got ready to draft, and like everybody thought, okay, this is Becky's like a short guard, like somebody that Becky's going to take under her wing. She knows exactly what to do with her, being who Becky is, all this. And then all of a sudden, the Aces have waived Fair. And it's just like, very interesting. Now, last season, the Aces did carry one girl short on the roster. Now we are back down to, the roster size that they carried last season. They could either keep it at that size, at that, and then you have an emergency spot if something happens and you need to pull somebody on or whatnot. Now, my only thoughts to this are either something what happens behind the scenes that none of us are aware of, right?
Right.
Or Chelsea Gray's back. Now, why that would mean you have to cut Fair, I don't really know. But you don't need the emergency there, anymore because, if Chelsea's back, she's back. You don't need an extra, person on the team to carry that load now. I'm still, though, surprised that they cut Fair.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this situation?
I was shocked with it too, and especially with how we spoke about last week, how there's not a true point guard on the team. And it's like, well, when you think about it, there kind of is. Dyaisha Fair's there. She's a true point guard, along with Sid Colston, who's a true point guard. So you have that there, and Becky Hammond, like you just mentioned, she was real happy to get her. That was Everyone focuses on Kate Martin, but Dyaisha Fair was actually picked first before Kate Martin. So you think she's an undersized guard. Becky picked her. She's an instant bucket. We know the Aces want to keep their offense going. It's just a matter of time until she could get in somehow.
Mhm.
Why she wasn't playing, I don't know, but there we go. It was just shock. It came out of nowhere, especially after playing your first minutes, getting your first action. It's like, oh my gosh, what is the deal? It was kind of, it came out of nowhere.
Mhm.
So I read one report that some reporter put out there that they were kind of not happy with her defense during practices, and they worried that would be a huge liability for them. And as we saw during the Mercury game, it was all about the defense, So being a small, undersized guard, I guess that could be an issue, but it was still a shock to see. It
Mhm.
was like, oh wow, so soon in the season. Like, they didn't even cut her preseason, they cut her now after only the fourth game.
Yeah.
What is going on? So it was just, I don't know, it's weird to see, but I had the same thought as you. Okay, if she's gone, that means Chelsea Gray's coming back soon. That means, all right, we don't have to worry about guards because the point guard is coming back.
Mhm.
So it was just a shock, but I'm hoping what we're thinking is true.
Now, do you see her possibly? I mean, in order for her to pick like another team to pick her up, they're gonna have to make moves. Everybody's that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like you wait 4 games, some teams 6 games into the season, whatever. The Aces are 4 games into the season and then cut her. You know,
Hmm.
all the other teams are full now. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Teams
what's
have their
next
have
for her now?
Yeah,
Like she's
teams
gonna
have
be
their roster set unless they want to make moves, and there's, you never know. There could be a GM out there that's like, oh man, Dyaisha Fair, I wanted her. Maybe I can cut this player and do that. It happens. Teams
yeah.
make moves, but most teams are pretty much locked in. So you never know. You never know. Players get injured as
Mm-hmm.
well. All right, we've seen players be lost for a season all plenty of times. So I'm sure, like, every team has a list of free agents just in case, like in case of
Mm-hmm.
emergency, call this
Right.
person. I'm sure she has now been put on that list, and she'll probably be pretty high up on that list.
I mean, even for the Aces now, if something happens to somebody,
Yeah, exactly. They know her.
she
She's
knows the
been in the
playbook.
building.
She knows, yeah, like
Exactly. You saw, and did you see the practice clip that they put out there with them during practice? I wanted to download it, but I didn't grab it. Yeah, there's a practice clip out there with them practicing, and like Sid Colson walks over to her, and Sid is explaining to her like what they do
mm,
on defense and how they
mhm,
switch and why they do it. Like, Sid is coaching her up. So they are well familiar with her. So I'm sure if something were to happen, they can easily call her up and be like, hey, we're going to sign you to a hardship contract, a 10-day contract, whatever contract they have to do, and can easily bring her back, which happens a lot also.
yeah. Definitely we'll be on the keeping an eye on her to see what happens.
Mhm.
Wish her the best, of course. And hopefully she does land up, somewhere.
Yeah,
And now even if it's not this season, get in the lab, keep working. We know that the
exactly.
the league's expanding, right? So there's going to be openings that there haven't been before.
Yep. There's 12
So
additional openings next year
yeah,
with the Valkyries coming in. And even after that, there's another 12 additional openings coming in. And you never know, another team might pop up. So all these players, they just got to be in the lab, stay ready. And if that phone call rings, answer it and be ready to go in there and hoop.
yep. All right, let's get into Aces game 3. Like
Yeah.
I mentioned, this is the loss. The Aces lost to the Mercury 98-88. A very ugly game from start to finish. The Aces just looked like they couldn't do shit right. They were not clicking on offense, they weren't clicking on defense. Cooper had 37 points, so they definitely weren't clicking on defense. Like, oh my god, it was nasty. Give me your thoughts from this game 3 loss.
Yeah, it was. I know they scored 88 points, and people be like, 88 points is a lot, but it wasn't a efficient 88. It
Mm-mm.
wasn't a smooth 88. It was like a rough 88. They had to grind their way there, you know, and it was like the concerns we had talked about last week, where there's no point guard and the offense doesn't flow as well as it should. A lot of that stuff came up in this game,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I just cringed and gritted my teeth at times, and like, let's go to the videotape, shall we? Like,
All right.
like this is one big thing that was a theme of the game. Hold on. Where was it? Where was it? Let me add this in and pull that up. Like, they started off the game with using a guard, Natasha Cloud, to guard A'ja Wilson. And you can see A'ja down there on the block with her. And like the ball gets swung to the other side of the court. And like A'ja eventually gets a loose ball and picks it up and they score. But like that initial entry, like when A'ja posts up right there on the block on the right side, like that ball should go into her. Bam. That's an easy bucket.
And you even see
For
A'ja
her.
put out her hand, like, "Hey."
Yeah, A'ja's calling. She's calling for it. Like, oh, I got this short guard on me. I got this. Throw it into me. And it gets swung completely to the other side of the court. And this happened all game long. And they just couldn't find her. And it was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here?
The tallest person on the court, and you can't find her.
Yeah, your best player, the tallest person, and it's like, oh my gosh. And let me pull this up and put that in. And then like on another possession, this was later in the game. They're all there, and I'm just pause it right here. And you see how like there's 3 players all in the same spot. It's like, what are we doing? Why are they all standing in the exact same spot? How are you going to get any offense going like that? And you got Kia Stokes on the side and Kate Martin all the way over there.
And Kia up there looking at him like a bunch of dumbasses. Like, what are you guys doing?
But on this, your best 3 players on the court are all standing in the same spot. And it's like, what is going on? How is this any offense? And you can see on this possession, there's a weird drive, a high pass, another pass. Like they're all running around. Eventually,
a freaking mess.
Kelsey just throws it up and misses.
Chucks it up to try to beat the shot clock.
Exactly. So you get a bad possession, and then they come down. And we talked about the defense, and they just allow an easy 3.
Yep.
An easy 3. It was just rough in that way.
And this is what happens when you have a guard that's leading your team that's not supposed to be leading your team.
Yeah. When you have that, like, when you don't have that.
I remember watching them at times last season, and remember saying like, man, they moved the ball so beautiful. Like, so nice, you know. Yeah. And it's just like you guys can see, you watch this game and it was just like ugly. Like, what the hell is going on?
Exactly.
So yeah.
But they did, you know, in true Aces fashion, they battled and they grinded it out. And it was close at one point. Like they was charging back in and getting this thing, but they just couldn't get stops. And it was just cringy. It was just rough. It was just real rough to see. And even on a night with my girl Kia Stokes, and we talked about this last week, how Kia Stokes can hit jumpers and she can hit threes. Pull up that video. I got to give her a shout out. I got to give her flowers. Because Kia Stokes actually had a very good game. Look at Sid, give her the pass. Kia Stokes for 3, splash. That's good offense. And you can see the game is tied right here. Well, they're down 2. But here we go. Kick it out to the corner. Kia Nurse, splash. Look at the bench going crazy. They're loving it. They took the lead at that point. Like, if you got a game where your 5, really your center, is hitting 3s, like the rest of the team should be able to rally and put up some good points too. But it just didn't work out because the offense was just like sputtering. It was just, and it was like, man, Mercury point for point, but it just didn't happen. And it was just weird things like Asia was missing some bunnies. Alysha Clark, who we know is clutch, like she can hit an open 3, was missing some open 3s.
Yeah, she only had 4 points this game.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just rough. Like at halftime, I think by halftime they were like 3 for 13 from 3-point land. Like they were shooting bricks from 3.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I think the Mercury hit 8 3-pointers at that point. Like they was just splashing everything.
Missed. Yeah. Like I was like, what the hell is going on?
They were hitting everything and running the floor well, and that's part of the defense. Like the defense was just allowing everything. And Clea Copper she just went off. They couldn't stop her. They could not stop her.
I know Becky was pissed after this game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she was. Asia said it in the press conference.
Because she's all about the defense. Like you play good defense, and it'll let you open up your offense. And the Aces couldn't seem to get the defense freaking going. And you saw, therefore, the offense didn't get going.
Yeah, and she said that in was it the press conference or the practice? I should have downloaded that clip. But she said, "I'm not worried about the offense. The offense is going to come." And she's right. When you got, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, and the Asia Wilson, who can all go out there and get you 20 plus points a night, every night, like at the same time too. They can all do it. They've done it before. Your offense is fine. You're not worried about that. It's you got to play defense. You got to be able to stop people. And that's what she said. It's the defense that's going to win it. You got to be able to put out that defensive effort. And in this game, it was not there. People were just slashing to the hoop, outrunning them on fast breaks. It was just, it was cringy. There's one play where Clea Copper got a rebound and drove the length of the court for a layup. No one stopped her. No one attempted to. Like the number one rule in basketball is stop the ball on a fast break. No one even tried. And it was like, oh, what the heck are they doing out there? It was rough.
Yeah,
it was rough.
All right. Let's get into game 4. A lot better game for the Aces.
Bounce back big time.
Yep. And you could tell they came out with a mission. Like, we ain't gonna let what happened the last game happen this game. Game 4 versus Indiana Fever. It was Aces win 80-99. This was the Iowa game. Caitlin Clark came to town. All the Iowa coaches were there. It was pretty cool, to see them all come out, support. And it was very cool to see, when Kate came to check in at the game, and her and Caitlin like checked into the game together, and Kate was guarding Caitlin. Like they had a back and forth pretty much all night. What was even better to see was that Kate had a career night and a better night than Caitlin did.
Yeah.
So I love to see, obviously with Caitlin being drafted number 1 overall, we know the story. Kate was just there to support her, ends up getting drafted by the Aces. And like, there was at one point when I text Ty and I'm like, like Caitlin looks like she's over there with her hand in her head. She's like over there on the bench, just like looking over there, like damn, like how come she gets that situation and I'm stuck with this, like
Hmm.
because man, um our our girls, they had a hell of a game.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull up some numbers real quick. We had Asia with 29 points, 15 rebounds. Plum had 20 points. Jackie Young had 22 points.
Hmm.
So, like I said, Kate Martin, she had 12 points and 7 rebounds.
Yep.
Kate Martin with 7 rebounds. Like that's what we need from our bench. Like this is what our bench been missing is the Kate Martin.
Yeah.
um, even Sid came in and like handled business. Like she was taking care of everything while she was out there with that second group. Like
Yep.
man, night and day difference from what we saw in the Aces in Game 3 and Game 4. And yeah, Asia said, like Becky after the press conference of this game, she had no voice, and they joked. She's like, "That's from me yelling at these girls all week, after
Yep.
that loss." And it's like I believe her. She's joking, but I believe her because that's
No,
the way Becky is.
no.
Like,
Did you see Asian when she said that? Asian was like, yeah, she was yelling. It's
yeah.
like for real. It's not a joke. She was yelling.
So what are your thoughts on Game 4? Oh,
Yeah.
and there was a crazy foul on Asia that we'll definitely go over, because it was reviewed and she still ended up getting the foul, and I don't know what the hell.
Yeah. So big bounce back game. It's funny. It started off kind of like the last game. Like the defense wasn't quite there and the
Mhm.
offense wasn't quite there, even though they were scoring and kind of going back and forth. And like at the end of the first, the Aces were actually down four. I think it
Yep.
was like 20, 24, 28 at the end of the first quarter. And I'm like, please don't let them like do what Phoenix did. Like not
You're like, here
this
we go
team,
again.
not the worst team in the league right now, not them. But they ratcheted up. They turned it up after that first quarter. And I don't know if Becky said something to him or whatever, but it was on from there. Cause they just kind of flipped the switch and it was over.
Mhm.
So it was good to see them bounce back. It was good to see the offense flowing. They was getting the ball to Asia. You know, good things happen when you throw it down to Asia, and she was on fire.
Yep.
Whether it was in the post, in the mid range, she was hitting threes. That beautiful pump fake, and she drove the lane for the finger roll layup. Oh,
Mhm.
that was beautiful. She was doing her thing. So I love it when they run the offense through Asia. Um, Jackie Young was Jackie Young. When she puts her head down and decides I'm going to score, you really can't stop her. She's just too strong and too good.
She looked a lot more decisive in this game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that clip you had just played where, it was her that passes the ball this way instead of giving it to Asia where she needed
yeah.
to. And I just felt like in this game, she was much more, instead of like, do I need to pass? Like, she's been so hesitant. Like, do I pass? Do
Hmm.
I shoot? Like, what do I need to do? Do I move the ball here
Yeah,
or there? And I felt like in this game, like as time went, it was much more, okay, pass, shoot, pass, shoot, pass, shoot. She
yep.
wasn't sitting there thinking about it like she has been.
Nope. Yeah, she was much more in charge and knew what she wanted and
Mm-hmm.
like saw things clearly. And I don't know if they schemed that up or whatever, but she was going off. She had a great game
Yep.
overall, and she did a great job defending Caitlin Clark. The book is out on Caitlin Clark. Players know what to do, and she did a great job sticking to the game plan. She had that beautiful strip steal for a layup at half court when she just like picked her pocket clean and went in for a
Mm-hmm.
layup. That was great. So she had an awesome game.
Yep.
And Kelsey Plum was going for hers, and she was hitting big shots. I mean, that's the offense you want to see. But there was the ball movement. They were kicking things around and doing their things and
Mm-hmm.
finding people for open shots. I mean, they found um, my girl Alysha Clark for open threes. Like, and she hit him this game. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
missing, and she had a
Yeah.
great game. We talk about the defense. Oh man, she was like Ronnie Lott out there. She was doing her thing. She was all over. She was all over. You know, I got an Alysha Clark package. I'm gonna put up. I'm gonna put it in there because you need to have the defense.
You know what I love to
Where is it?
see too, not even just Alysha Clark being Alysha Clark, but how hyped Alysha gets when Kate Martin does something. Like Kate
Well, you know
Martin
what?
makes a stop
Yeah,
or Kate Martin, scores or something, and Alysha's hyped.
yeah,
And Alysha took her under her wing and said, "This is going to be my rookie. I'm going to take
yeah,
care of her. I'm going to show her everything. I'm going to teach her everything she needs to be, done." And you can just tell that relationship has just
yeah,
been growing and growing and growing, and it's
yeah.
very evident when they're on the court together.
Exactly. I'm being a bad co-host. You talked about Kate Martin first. Let's pull up the Kate Martin package
All
and
right.
let's look at just Kate on fire, hitting the open three. That was I think it was Kelsey Plum on the drive, kicked it to her. That was Kate on a block. I mean, she was doing it all. I mean, that's Lexi Hall, who's long and lanky. Kate got up, like, get not in my house. No,
Mm-hmm.
sir. Get that out of here. Clean block. Here she is. Alysha gives us a bounce pass, splash. Just in
Another
rhythm,
three.
looking so good. I love this play right here. This is the one you were talking about. Look at Kate, fights for the rebound, goes through two people, steps out, give it to Alysha. Alysha kicks it right back to her. Go, girl. She drives on a bigger player, scores, gets a big chest bump. And I'm mad they switched it away to her coaches. So we didn't see the full celebration, but that was Alysha Clark right there. Screaming, yelling with her, giving her a chest bump, little hit in
Yep.
the chest. That's awesome. Kate Martin is awesome. And she's the type of player you need on your team. And like she's a little mini Alysha Clark.
To
You
go
gotta love
from
that.
you didn't even think you were going to get drafted to
Yeah.
being the only draft pick that the Aces keep
Mm-hmm.
on their
Yeah.
team, a championship roster. You're the
Yeah.
only draft pick that they keep, and you didn't even
And
think
you're
you were going to get drafted.
yeah.
Like she's been overshadowed and overlooked and overshined
Mm-hmm.
because she's been on the same team as Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
And
And look at she's the sixth person. She's the first person off the bench. She's playing
as a
meaningful
rookie,
minutes. Yeah.
over
She's playing.
people that have been on this team.
Yeah. I mean, she's playing half the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
she had 22 minutes in this game.
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And for comparison, Kia Stokes had 25 minutes.
right.
A starter.
That's a starter. Exactly. That's a starter. She's playing starter minutes. So it shows you the value that she brings and how Becky trusts her. Right? Oh, this is the Alysha Clark clicks. Look at this. You try to pass in the middle. Nope, I got this. Leads to a fast break. She pulls it out. Here it is. She picks up Caitlin Clark on the switch and gets a clean block. Well, it was a clean block of the ball. Her hand came down on the follow through, and she got a foul. But if you look at the replay, I mean, this is sticking with her faster player, and that's all ball right there. I was like, nope, not having it. You can see it real clear right there. It was all ball. If her hand didn't come down on that follow through, it would have been over. Here's a play right here. I love this one. That's why I say she was like Ronnie Lott. Watch this. Interception. Leads to a fast break. Like, nope, not having it.
I wish she would shoot those though. Like
Yeah, I
when
know.
she fast breaks like that and you get down there and
I
it's just
know.
you
Pull
and
up.
one person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can make
And she
that.
can hit that.
Mhm.
Oh, there was a steal. It was still on the other end. She comes down, hits the three. Hold up that three. And I believe this is the last play. Look, they try another fast break. I love this one. Caitlin Clark sees someone, tries to throw it. Look at her. Nope. She's like, nope.
Very
not
nice.
having it. I mean, just an incredible game. And we talked about how Becky preached defense to them. And that's what killed them in the Phoenix game. Like they were just killing them with passes, cross court. And like no one had their hands up. No one was looking. No one was deflecting passes. Alysha Clark was like, okay, I got the message.
Mm-hmm.
I know it needs to be done. I'm taking care of this. And sure enough, like she shut it all down. It was beautiful.
Yep,
Great game from her.
I agree. You have that foul on Asia.
Do I? I don't know if I do. I don't think I cut it. I
Okay.
didn't.
All right.
I didn't. Because it was so ridiculous. And they took so long to review it that it was like, you got to be kidding me.
To call her for a clear path foul, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it was disgusting.
And
The
at
refs,
first, I didn't.
man.
At first, I didn't see anything. For the people that didn't see it, uh, a player was running. It was Alysha Smith was ahead of Asia Wilson. Asia was following her, and they were running. And Alysha Smith tripped. You can see it. She tripped over her own feet, and the refs took forever in the day to see if Asia Wilson pushed her, made contact with her, did anything in any way. And you couldn't see anything on tape. There was nothing there until like the last minute. You saw that Asia might have had coincidental contact with Alysha Smith's foot, which might have caused Alysha Smith to trip. It was the dumbest thing ever. But at the end, because they said they couldn't find anything conclusive, they had to go with the call that they made on the court, which was a bad call because it proved you didn't see anything. You
Yeah,
just saw a player fall and assumed like she got pushed or something. It was terrible. Terrible. Like they took 10 minutes to watch the tape. Then they had another 5-minute discussion about it. It was like, there's nothing there. What do we do? I don't know. What would you
yeah,
do in this situation? I don't know, but I stayed at a residence inn last night. You know, like it was the dumbest thing ever. And I hate that. I hate it with a passion. These refs got to get better. It's only going to be better for the game. And they just got to get better.
yeah.
But it was ridiculous. And I'm happy that she missed the 2 free throws.
I
That was
know.
justice. That shows you
Yep.
God don't like ugly. Like that was justice to the highest level. And the crowd went wild when she missed them.
And did you see that on that when they tried to send Caitlin Clark out there to make those free throws,
Yeah.
and Plum was like, "Hell no, that
Yeah.
that that foul wasn't on her. She's not
Yeah.
shooting those." And
Yeah.
so they brought
Indiana
the
tried
other
to be
chick out,
slick.
and then she missed
Yeah.
both. Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you fucking
They tried to be slick and put Caitlin Clark out there. It was like, wait a minute. No. It was
like.
Alysha
They're
Smith
like,
that got
"Oh, it
fouled.
took them
No,
30
no, no,
minutes
no, no.
to review this. So
Exactly.
maybe they'll forget who it was."
Exactly. Like, yeah, maybe they forgot. We can pull the okey doke on them. Kelsey Plum was like, nah,
Yeah, she went out
not
there
here,
like, "Oh
dog.
no, you
Nope.
don't."
Nope. Nope. Ain't giving her nothing.
Yeah, that's funny. After this game, the Aces announced that puts Asia at 1,000 career free throws made. So
Mhm.
shout out to her for that. And then they announced that after that game, that put Alysha Clark at 500 career assists. So
Yep.
shout out to both of them. Huge milestones. So yeah, pretty good game overall. Like I said, we got to see our bench come in and do some stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me take a look at this. So I read earlier what the standings were. Each week, ESPN then puts out what their rankings are.
Mm-hmm.
And they, as well as normal standings, have the Aces at number 3. So they have Sun at 1, Lynx at 2, Aces at 3, Wings at 4, Mercury at 5, Liberty at 6. Liberty, whew, they're way
Mm-hmm.
down there on the list.
Yeah, they dropped 2 games. Yeah.
Seattle Storm at 7. They got Chicago Sky at 8, Atlanta Dream at 9, Indiana Fever at 10, Sparks at 12, tied with the Mystics at 12. You agree? Disagree? What you think?
Um, the only thing I would change really is the top two. I would actually put the Lynx above Connecticut. They've been playing very good ball. In the one game they lost, they won. They lost it by a bucket.
In overtime.
I think it was like one way. Yeah, exactly. Like Caleb McBride just shot a shot short, but they battled. And like Nafisa Collier was playing with a black eye that game. Like, like it was wild. But they battled. They've been playing very good basketball. And speaking of Nafisa Collier, she's been playing at an MVP level. She's been out of her mind. And Caleb McBride went off last game. There was nothing she couldn't miss. And she gets hot like that. Something about those Notre Dame guards. They can shoot, all of them. Yep. But yeah, I would switch them because I think they're just playing better basketball than even Connecticut right now. Connecticut they've been grinding out some games. And you know they're a very good team, and yeah, they play a little dirty. No, they just play very rough and physical. Like they're an old school East Coast team, and they've been grinding. They've grinded out a few wins. But other than that, everything else is pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
Maybe the Sky could be above the Storm. The Sky had played they lost 2 bad games, but they played 2 very good games. That's a game. That's a team that's up and coming.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I like what they're building over there.
Yeah, I really like what they're building. I think Teresa Witherspoon, we know she's a Hall of Fame player. I think she's a very good coach. I like the way she interacts with them and gets involved. Mm-hmm. She'll have them on the right track. Yeah. Everything else looks pretty good. I would keep everything else the same.
You'd bring up the Lynx and about Collier, and that's who the Aces play Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that'll be a very interesting game. Like you said, Collier is playing out of her mind. These last 2 games weren't as great as her previous games, but I mean, still, like she definitely, to me, has MVP is hers right now. So
yeah. If you had to assign an MVP vote winner right now, it'd be her.
And it pains me to not give it to my own girl, but
yeah, but you got
want it, Aisha, you better go and take it. Shit.
Exactly. You got respect is due. Like, luckily the season doesn't end today.
Exactly.
We're only 4 or 5, 6 games in, depending on the team you're on. But yeah, the Aces travel now. They go to Minnesota next. Yep. So that's going to be a big test for them. Like Becky preached defense. They got to bring their defense for this one.
Yeah, because if not, I mean, Collier's going to go out for freaking 30 plus, and it's going to be a long night.
Yep. Caleb McBride, the way she's been shooting, she can go off. Like Alana Smith, like they got some players, man. Don't sleep on them. They got players. They're playing very well. So yeah, you got to bring your lunch.
We are going to do a giveaway for this Chelsea Gray card right here. It's in the bag, so got to glare, but I don't want to unbag it just to have to bag it back up. So let's go ahead and get that set up. Hashtag Gray, GRAY, to get into the giveaway. Hashtag GRAY. Good luck.
Get in it, y'all.
Let you guys get in there. So speaking of Gray, I'm not sure how the rules are with like when people come off injury in the W. Is she on anything? Is she just able to the Ace to just say, all right, she's active for this game?
Yeah, I don't think she's on IR or anything.
Because I see every game like they announce, she's not playing this game. She's not playing this game. So exactly. I figured if she was on some kind of list or whatever, then they wouldn't have to keep announcing it. So
exactly. Like I don't believe they put her on injured reserve or any kind of list. She's just been an inactive player. That's why they keep announcing she won't play this game because of a
Yeah.
lower leg injury. That's it. So I think whenever she's ready to come back, they just list her in the lineup. Oh, she's playing. She's active. She's an active player. That's what they'll do.
Do
So
you
they're
think
free
that
and
we
clear.
see some type of like videos of her at practice or anything, or they're just going to announce, surprise, she's here.
Well,
She's
I think
active.
that yeah, I think the Aces will do something. They've been showing videos of their practices, and their social media team is killing it
Mhm.
with things they show, and the players themselves are always doing like behind the scenes stuff. So I'm pretty sure when she's ready to come back, they'll show her on the court doing stuff. Like I heard she's been practicing, but it's very limited. It's light. They're taking it, they're being cautious with her. And when she's ready to play, I'm pretty sure we'll see it. We'll see her, leading the offense in practice, throwing a behind the back pass to Jackie Young or somebody, doing what she do to get us all hyped up.
Mhm.
So it's definitely coming.
So you think she'll still travel with the team though, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think her injury is something that like she can't fly with, especially now with chartered
Now they're not
flights.
fine with us
Yeah,
normal
exactly.
people.
Exactly. We don't have to worry about her like sitting in economy plus, you know, waiting to board the plane with 60 other people. She's fine. She'll be able to travel in comfort, and the medical staff can give her one of those soft cushion boots if needed. Whatever she needs to travel,
Mhm.
it'll happen. And I'm pretty sure they want her to travel just to be there with the team, be that
Yeah.
extra voice. We know everything she brings to the table, even off the court. So you want her there.
I want her back now. Like I'm tired
Oh
of
yeah.
this game against the Fever. Like, yeah, it was nice to be up 20 plus points, but we were playing like the team that's in the freaking. They got the
Yeah.
overall first draft pick for a reason, like they're
Yeah.
not good. They
Yeah.
suck,
Yeah.
like come on.
Yeah. They were high in the lottery system for a
Yeah.
very good reason.
So
So
like
yeah. But just
this
as a
coming up
fan,
test against the Lynx, it's going to be a real test. We'll
yeah,
we'll
you
see
would
where
want
the
her out
Aces
there
are
for
at.
this one.
Yeah, like if we could
Exactly.
have her back, like oh my gosh,
Yeah. And
like I'm tired of waiting.
just as a fan, you want to see her out there. You want to see her out there doing her thing. Because, you know, from the passes to getting the offense set up and just her offense too. Like she can go off and get you 25 plus points a night if she wants to. So
Mhm.
she's just fun to watch. I'm a fan. I want to see her out there.
What's up, Dustin?
What's up?
I was wondering where you were at, Maria. I'm like, this Maria didn't get
All
in the
right.
giveaway. Oh no. Just gonna
Get
have to
in to
give it
win
to
it.
Don. Hashtag Gray to win this Chelsea Gray.
But yeah, they got the game against the Aces on Wednesday. I mean the Lynx on Wednesday. Then they play Friday night. They play the Dream. Now that should be a winnable game.
Yeah,
Like
because the
Atlanta
dream
has
don't
some.
have no dreams of being good.
Yeah. They shouldn't have any dream of beating Aces.
Nope.
We're keeping those puns.
They only beating us in their dreams.
Exactly. Exactly. And they got good players. Ryan Howard is there, Alysha Gray,
I
Tina
like Howard a
Charles is
lot.
back. Yeah, she's a very good player. Very good young player. Alysha Gray from South Carolina. We know how
Mhm.
Dawn Staley churns out those players. She was like one of the first she churned out. Like I said, Tina Charles is there. They got Nas Hillman, who's on the team, who's like their young Alysha Clark,
Mhm.
trying to do that little bit of everything, plays defense, offense, do that,
She ain't
you
no
know.
Alicia Clark.
But she ain't no like I said, a young Alysha Clark. She's Alysha Clark light. That's Alysha
She's
Clark is
the
who
wish
she wants
version.
to be. Yeah. Yo, can I give a shout out to Alysha? Man, there was the Aces put out a video of um my God, Kia Stokes and her rehab process and her
I
coming
just
back from
watched that today. I loved it.
her leg injury, and right there with her practicing rehabbing was Alysha Clark.
I told you, Alysha didn't leave all off season. She was
Yeah,
here
she was here. Yeah, I know.
working,
She was in
putting work in the
Vegas doing
community,
everything.
and putting work in the gym. Like,
Yeah, and I knew she was in the gym, but to see her there with her teammate, like going through the whole rehab process. You're going through this drill, I'm gonna go through it with you.
mhm.
Like simple dribbling drills and things like that. I'm here with you. And she said, "Hey, I did my injury. I had rehab. I know what it went through. I want to be here for my teammate." That is awesome. And Tenny Figbani, who plays for the Fever, she's number one. She's the one who's been sprinting down court, playing very well. Up until this game, she's been coming off the bench. And a reporter asked her a few games ago, "Hey, when you played overseas, you always started. You're used to being in the lineup. Now you're coming off the bench. How did you adjust to this role? How did you get, mentally prepared for it?" And she said, "I reached out to Alysha Clark and spoke to her about it because Alysha's a vet. She's been doing this for a very long time. She was in this position and she's had a great career. So I bent her ear on, how to prepare myself and what to do. And she gave me a lot of great advice." I mean, you talk about a great player and a great person. That's what it's about right there.
Mhm.
And that's stuff you don't see. And she could have like turned her nose to her. "Nah, you're the competition. Yeah, yeah, yeah." Nope. She helped her out. And now Tammy's starting. Like she worked her
Mhm.
way into the starting lineup. But she was coming off the bench and playing great. That's how she got into this role. And Alysha helped her with that. And that's the stuff that you don't see. That's why, like Alysha, just retire an ace. Just don't go anywhere. Just the team just needs to reward her and keep her around because that's the person you want in your locker room.
Yeah,
What you
I
do on the
doubt they let
court
her go
and off
somewhere
the court. Yeah.
with, like I didn't even know who Alysha Clark was, really prior to her coming. Of course, you hear the name, but like
Mm-hmm.
that meme, like, sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game,
Yeah.
And then she gets to Vegas, but like any, Vegas player, I'm going to support them and, whatever. But once I seen, and she was already like, I loved her, like, thought she was the best addition to this team,
Mm-hmm.
when she came. And once I saw this off season, just like I told you guys, the way she just poured in
Mm-hmm.
this community. And
Yep.
again, we have the Raiders here, we have the Golden Knights here, we have the other Aces, like we have other sports teams here now. And
Yep.
never have I seen somebody pour into this community like Alysha Clark did this offseason. And she's not the flashiest name on the team, right? She's not our superstar, obviously, but so quick like that became one of my favorite players. And
Mm-hmm.
like always gonna hold a special place in my heart for that reason, because she came to my city, a city that she never played for before, didn't live in,
Nope.
could give two shits about, and took it over like her own and said, I'm going to give everything I have to you guys. And I'll forever be grateful, forever
Oh
grateful.
yeah. She's a keeper for sure.
So yeah, every list I see on online to where, the most what was that list or showed you the other day, most underrated player in the
Oh yes, yes,
WNBA,
yes,
I'm
yes.
always going to put Alysha Clark now.
Yep.
Forever. On every single list that comes out, I put Alysha Clark. I don't give a shit.
Yep. And my response was hell yeah. Like for not only for what she does on the court, but what she does off the court as well.
Yep.
And what we just talked about are examples of that. Like clearly underrated.
Yep. All right, let's draw this winner. There's only 3 of you in here, so good luck to you 3. Not in here, but in the giveaway.
In the giveaway. Good luck, y'all.
Well, 4 of us and one's me. So if you guys let me win, then
And you can't protest. This ain't that show.
All right. Don, Dustin, and Miriah. Good luck.
Oh,
Dustin.
look at that.
Dustin. Congrats, sir.
Comes in late, wins the giveaway. Congrats.
Congrats. Anything else that you would like to talk about before we get out of here?
No. I thought it was just a crazy up and down week with the 2 games. Shout out to the Mercury. They did their thing, but I think Aces, if had they done their thing, had they executed, it wouldn't have been that way. Even though the Aces scored 88 points that game, it could have clearly been 100 plus had they just executed and been hitting their shots. It was just one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw how they came back the next game and bounced back like a true champion, right? You get punched. All right, cool. I'm going to take that punch, but I'm coming back swinging. And that's what we saw. And that's what we want to continue to see for the rest of the week. I'm really looking forward to this game on Wednesday. I think it's going to be a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a big matchup. Yeah. I'm excited about it. So stay tuned, folks. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, if you guys are looking to watch it, it comes on at 5 Pacific time on Wednesday. Aces at the Lynx. Should be a good game. Chat,
Yeah.
I appreciate you all. We appreciate you all for being
Indeed.
here. A little bit bigger crowd than last week. So as long as we just keep growing it a little bit bigger each week, then we're doing good. So
exactly.
Great episode 2. Look forward to next week, episode 3. Hopefully we have a couple wins to talk about.
Yep.
And
more wins to talk about.
Yep. The only thing so far this week, TL's going to be on vacation. So the only thing right now that I have planned is Thursday, the 2 Goat show with Steph at 3 Pacific time. I'll probably look to schedule something else this week, but we'll see. So keep an eye, keep an ear. You got anything going this week you want to tell the people about?
Nope. I'm just going to solicit myself to fill in for TL.
All right.
I'm not as bald and as dark as him, but I'll represent for the congregation.
All right.
And try to hold it down for him.
Well, there you have it. Me and Ty will probably be back sometime this week to talk about the 49ers this time.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you guys. Hope everybody has a safe, wonderful rest of your Memorial weekend and get ready for the work week. And, yeah, we're out of here. Till next time.
See ya.
Go Aces.
Go Aces.